All right, and let me say a very, very good morning. Good morning, man. This theme song, yeah, I always tell people, this is the best morning theme song. The voices or maybe the name may not be screenshot to this microphone, but maybe on the Monday morning, sitting pretty tight for you this morning for now, straight up to 10 o'clock. It is a privilege. And let me say thanks, a very big thanks to our bosses, right? And very young and energetic indeed, who celebrate his birthday today. And that's our Chief Executive Officer, CEO, and Director General Liability, and the head of radio programs here, O'Neill in Summer Roberts, and for the confidence. And confidence indeed building us to sit here and for you this morning. So good morning. Welcome to the Monday edition of the TBX. Good morning to our 15 counties in the land and breadth of the Republic of Liberia. And the love of liberty brought us here, brought us together. Welcome, my name is Ansu Sirleaf. I'm not just here alone. I'm here alongside of my very good and friend and brother, George Bowen. Good morning.
Good morning, Ansu, and good morning to our listeners across the country.
So much. Good morning to our listeners this morning. Welcome to the Truth Breakfast Show on our this 10th day of June, 20 24. Indeed. So, what do we have for you for now? Straight up to 10 o'clock this morning, right here on the show. Let's give you the lineup. Sunday, we bring you health tips with David Coty. That's for 5 minutes this morning on the show. At 8 o'clock is a review of the Paybox. The show is proudly sponsored by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia Limited. At 8:15 to 9 o'clock, the campaigners against mixed information and disinformation in Liberia, founder and CEO Tawel Johnson will be our guest on the first segment. And Tara will be here talking about the awareness and progress made by the organization. It's a very sensitive talking point discussion for you this morning. The issue of misinformation and disinformation. And then at 9 o'clock will be your spokes and entertainment commotion brought to you by Orange Liberia and EcoBank Liberia. At 9:15 to 10 o'clock this morning, the communication section of the Pizzo City Corporation is headed by Mr. Jeremiah Ditchen. Ditchen will sit with us and talk about some major work done within the Pinsville Corporation. So, as I said, so much we have this morning to discuss for now. Straight up to 10 o'clock this morning, right here on the Truth Breakfast Show in the midst of all country friends. So, welcome to the program this morning. And let me say, welcome to our president. Indeed, welcome back home, President Boagai from South Korea business summary this morning. We say, welcome back home, you and your entourage. Josh?
Yeah, Ansu, good morning again. And, I'm so excited to share breakfast with you this morning and our listeners across the country again.
All right, so that's it. Good to be with George Borry this morning, as you said, and let's welcome our president back in the country this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, President Boagat, we say welcome back at home. You and your entourage. I know in your absence there were a lot of things. Yeah, and happy. Yeah, a lot of things.
LDA and,
Yeah, even I own senior advisor there too, so he need to open his file. So all the small complaints and other stuff this morning, Mr. President, on the Monday morning, know that to work this morning. Those are cutting us on more important things that's on your desk this morning. We want you to open that file, and start to check, it up. As you said, no business as usual. Liberians have been waiting on you. Your people been back and waiting on you to hear from you when it comes to maybe a speeded investigation to get some beneficial information from the Korea summit.
Summit,
Yeah, so
yes.
they've been waiting on you. So on the Monday morning to work this morning, your people will be waiting to hear from the what comes from the LDEA. As it may be a word that it was just a few weeks ago. The LDEA bosses, the director, his two deputies in the got in the face fight. So that information went to the president. Yeah. So we hope.
LDA.
Yeah. Now it is an investigation that we wait on
The
you.
outcome of
The
it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that one. Yeah, so that one that is senior advisor. I'll short there. We take call from the Koti to bring us health tip this morning right here on the Two Breakfast Show. Yeah, so coming on shortly we bring on David Koti here this morning on the show to bring us health tip this morning right here. So let's see now we can go for uh Kuti.
Yes, the reporting if we have this on.
Yeah, yeah, this morning. So let's go for David Kuti right here to bring us health tip this morning on the morning edition. Good morning, Mr. Kuti. Mm.
not tablespoon. 7 years old and above, you give them half teaspoon. Once they are 7 years old, half teaspoon. Children above seven, once they are above 7 years old, it's a teaspoon. Am I clear? I'm hearing something in the background. Am I clear, sir?
Yeah, yes, you are clear. You are clear.
Take it twice a day. You take 1 tablespoon in the morning, you take one in the night. It's more effective in the night when you take it in the night. Now, apart from drinking olive oil, you can also uh, put it on your food, your salad, or whatever you want to do. But listen to this: all olive oil are not created equal. No, they have different types of olive oil. But the main olive oil that I'm advising you, the scientists are advising you to drink every day is extra virgin olive oil. Just actually extra virgin olive oil is what is recommended by medical doctors and scientists. You take 1 teaspoon 1.5 hours before you go to bed. It will do a lot of good things for you. So um, that's it for olive oil. Remember this: honey is also, honey also provides many good benefits. Honey also provides a lot of good benefits. We talked about it before, and we'll come back to it another time. From time to time, what things that are past, I will come back to them so you can get reminded. Honey is very good for your body too. Take 1 tablespoon in the morning on empty stomach, and 1 tablespoon at night, 1 hour before bedtime. So it's going to help you a whole lot. If you want to, you can mix the honey and the olive oil and take it together at night. But you can separate it if you don't have the other one. Now, somebody asked me a question the other day. I'd like to answer it publicly on the radio. Whether people who are diabetic or who have diabetes can take honey? Yes. You have diabetes, you can take honey, you can consume it. But just do it in moderation, not too much. The advice I give you, children, just your 1 tablespoon at night. Finish. Don't take it so much because it's so sweet. Now, do not give honey to children under 1 year old. Once a child, do not give honey to babies or children less than 1 year old. It's very dangerous. Instead of doing good for them, you'll be harming them seriously. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for the time, and have a good day.
All right, and I hope the next time you will be telling us why we shouldn't give it to babies. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much. The voice of David Kuti they're providing us a health tip this morning. Is a regular feature on now the Truth Breakfast Show this morning. Yeah, on Truth 96.1. Let's see what next. Review of the local days right here on
And
the morning show.
and okay. Yes, we have just few papers this morning. We have the Inquirer newspaper and the banner headlines: "No to homosexual marriages and ordinations in Liberia." UMU Bishop declares, and the picture here of the that's the photograph of folks from the United Methodist Church. Yes, and of course the sub lead. Yeah, Senate approves ban on unprocessed rubber export. The photograph of Senate Pro Tem Yomli Kankalarens, and the photograph of President Joseph Wakai is being captured also. Liberia's capture in US 24 billion from Korea Africa Summit as government targets agriculture, energy, water, financial investment sector. The photograph of the President Joseph Wakai, the The back of the Inquirer newspaper, Liberia's hampering Bouakar's fight against corruption, and the photograph of the president. Also, BMMC regrets accident in New Liberty Mines, and reinstate Connor Coman, Civil Society Network references LDA on the sub lead. And let's go to General Liberia. Calamity befalls. We are at Fokaklon Church. A photograph of former religious advisor of the president, Emmanuel Niblen, being escorted by court officers, that sheriff from the court, and the sub lead, someone defense AFL CSOs. Yes, the photograph of Ponati Kofa, Liberia's United Methodist Church rejects U.S. conference decision to accept gay marriage. Yes, the back page, BA Bounty distributes ships to several host communities. And Waka concludes visit to South Korea. So let's now go to our last stop. Yes, the last stop, Ansu, from my end this morning is the Heritage Newspaper. GSAN's landmark agreements between Korean multinational companies, improvements in agriculture, food production, energy, and others. The photograph of the President Joseph Boakai, and the sub-lead stories. Job Cartel wants Abraham Chroma out. Wow. Yes. So, Ansu, that's it for the review of the local dailies on the TBS this morning.
All right, so there you had it for that Josh out this morning. There we found the local daily, the reviewer for the local daily this morning right here on now the Truth Breakfast Show, a regular feature here on now the TBX. Welcome again, folks. For those of you who are just joining us this morning, it is a morning edition for the Truth Breakfast Show. As we said, the president is back in the country and back from Korea. For the Korea summit, and we Liberians wait again to hear to get some beneficial news for now the president trip, George, there to Korea.
Yeah, and so before I dive into our talking points, I would like to, on behalf of the True Breakfast Show, would like to wish our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Ike Baleti, happy birthday, and he celebrates along with few persons here from the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. We have Corey Skanga from the news department. He's assigned at the Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism. Corey celebrates today, and of course, our own man, Orlando Blambo also celebrates his later day on today. So, on behalf of the Truth Breakfast Show, would like to wish them a happy birthday, Ansu.
All right, and yours
My
tomorrow.
birthday comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Wow, the June people here already since they're just June 10, June 11. But happy birthday to you, honorable CEO. Yeah, wishing you many dozen birthdays. Yes to celebrate Miss Ability. All right, so welcome, folks. As I said, the president returned in the country. He's back home for the Korea summit, and which I know again our people, because many times when our leaders travel, especially I refer to the president, the face of the country, George travel, and the people back home always wait to hear, the success, the good news, the fun of the trip. And I listened to one of the people there, in which you are providing for us this morning on that we have been captured into,
Yes.
I think US 20 million from the Korea. So I don't know
Yes,
whether
24 billion
24 billion
from Korea Africa Summit.
summit. That's a good news. What do you make of the president trip? You one person follow
Yes,
the executive. Yeah.
yes. So, Ansu, I reported from the executive mansion, for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Yes, from the inception of former President Bush, we have covered the executive mansion throughout. And one thing I will say to you, the president leaves, attends conferences, attends, events across the world.
Mhm.
And upon arrival, the first thing you will hear from a president, yes, we've held, bilateral, fruitful discussion. They always say, yeah, the president held bilateral discussion, and the trip was fruitful. And one question I followed that what the country stands to
The
benefit
benefit.
from the trip is you usually ask our presidents.
Mhm.
I've asked the former president this question: what does the country stand to benefit from your travel? You spend thousands of dollars, those on the trip, the
Mhm.
delegation on the trip, the government takes full responsibility of everything, everything. Imagine everything. What does the country stand to benefit? So yesterday the president arrived, and he came from South Korea, and yeah, I listened to the interview yesterday with executive mansion, my colleagues. Yesterday I listened, and he was talking about how the country will benefit from agricultural in other sectors across. And that particular conference in South Korea brought together heads of states from Africa,
Mhm.
how high business leaders, of course, from Africa. And yes, the president, he talked about bilateral meeting, discussions, and with several counterparts. You know, we here we're not there, but our ears are on dispatch from that particular trip and travels from the president. So yesterday he was talking about uh, meeting Liberians there. Also they expressed interest, and he said yes, the issue of agriculture also will be captured from the recent trip in South Korea.
So we wait on it to see again. Our people back home many times when the president travel. There are so many uh, feedback, especially comes out sometimes from the opposition camp. Yeah, many times some look at looks at the president trip and some can even go as far as condemning it. Some say that the wasted resources be spent about the president looking at the numbers of you know
Yeah, these things, trust me,
yeah, it
trust me,
happened. So
trust me, these things happen. You spend thousands of dollars.
yeah,
Some travels from the president
yeah.
as tend to be corrected. At times it's being covered by the host country, yeah, come, but also what does the country stand to benefit president,
Hmm.
if your president leaves your country for maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week, maybe few days, what does the country stand to benefit? Upon their arrival, they always talk about bilateral discussions. We've held bilateral discussions, and we took along the agricultural minister, we took along the minister of public works, we took along. So on the sideline of these conferences, on the sideline of these summits,
Yes.
those officials of the government, those that actually travel along with the president,
Mm.
they interact with their counterparts also that will be on that trip. Because
Yeah.
if, for instance, if President Joseph Boakai is going to America,
Mm.
and he decides to take like maybe 20 men delegates,
Okay.
and he takes along maybe Minister of Public Works, Minister of Finance, Minister of Foreign Affairs,
The MCC boss.
MCC boss,
Yeah.
based on the main idea of the summit.
Okay.
Yes, most times, the delegates if the delegation is selected based mostly on the intent of the summit. So if it's about I expect the commerce minister, to be on such trip, yes, and take other key government ministers along on the sideline of the summit. Oh, this is maybe the Sierra Leone counterpart telling
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Boakai, this is my foreign minister. So Sarah Bessel now will meet the foreign minister of Sierra Leone. How they can work together, how they can, both, make strides and, of course, bring benefits to the both one countries. So most times when they're taking people on, they take people to discuss issues that will benefit the country.
Okay, that will benefit the country. So we wait on the president, and as I say, the file is open. I will call on him to open that file for speedy investigation. For now, the LDA, in the absence of the president, the the boxer for the LDEE, his two deputies, the issue, the one that trending on the social media, and in which I strongly condemn, the looking at our country, especially with this fight against drugs, to have our leaders, into such face fight. And if you go through the conversation, that's tell you that the president really need to step in, and so we can find a solution
Yeah, and
uh, to
like
the LDA problem.
yes, so we always welcome from the president. We welcome always the issue of investigation that he usually put in for, instructing, setting a committee with people,
Yeah.
group of people coming to investigate a particular maybe situation or incident. So we also encourage the president not just to set up an investigative team or a team of investigators or team of people to investigate of a particular incident or maybe issue, but we also encourage the president, if the if the people or the team set up to investigate a particular incident or particular, the president should also muster that courage, take that bold step in ensuring that the report, the findings from the team being set up to
Hmm.
investigate be made public. And I say this to say, in relation to the former chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia issue, where he set up an investigative team when the army wives protested across, the former chief of staff resigned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since then, the public are waiting the president to make public report from the team being set up. Not just you set a team of people to investigate, a particular incident, but the progress report from that particular investigation should be made public. Even if not public, practical steps should be taken.
Yes, exactly. So, and our guest in studio already, Tower Johnson. This morning, he's sitting with us on the first segment. But let's get this one out for you on for EcoBank. EcoBank has launched a new salary advance service. This is for customers who have the salary account with EcoBank. You can request a salary advance by the USSD code star 32 #6. The bank will give you 50% of your salary. The interest rate is 30%, and you will have 30 days payback. The best part is you can request it's a 24-hour service indeed, and your account is credited the same day. To use the USSD code, one must have the EcoBank mobile app on their phone. The service is for public and private sector employees who have salaried accounts with EcoBank. EcoBank in Orange, Liberia, a proud sponsor of the Truth Breakfast Show. Folks, it is a privilege this morning to have us here in studio. Howard Johnson. Indeed, as I said, we have a very important um, talking point this morning, and many of you who monitor when you heard us talking about the disinformation, misinformation, indeed. So you want to know. this morning, exactly, provide information to people. All right. So this morning, Tower decided to stay with us under the first segment on this mixed information and this information. Indeed, there are sometimes people have information, people get information, they don't really, go deeper to get an actual story, and then they start running with information. Sometimes uh, people get information instead of finding out to get some to investigate properly, and they go straight on the social media. And many times and people being affected by misinformation. So Tawed has been in charge, been heading a campaign against misinformation and disinformation indeed. So he stopped by this morning to talk about the progress of that campaign with us on now the breakfast show this morning. And Tara, good morning. I know you're getting us there. Good morning. Okay, welcome. That's a good. They need to verify information. Indeed, it's been a while. Yeah, a long time. They should be our sitting on the country biggest platform. No, 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 for you and Anna. Yeah. Okay. Mm. Okay. This discussion it is a very sensitive, especially when I placed out this morning, verifying misinformation, and then disinformation. So I know people still doubting to really already we are already driving into that this morning. Yeah, so it's good to have you on so we can a little bit talk about it. The first thing, the issue of misinformation. Okay. Hmm. And your organization see it as another way that maybe some would say sometimes it tarnishes people's reputation. Yeah, sometimes it causes serious problem. especially that when the referral information is not placed out and people go fly with it, especially on the social media. Is it working for your organization? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay now. What in the book?
Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Are you really getting the type of support that you really want? Are you really getting a positive feedback from the Orleans? not financially, but maybe in terms of maybe reaching out to people to tell them about your campaign, whether people really sign up for it. Mm, hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm,
registration manual that NEC provided. They must be given preference. But unfortunately, most of the temporary NEC staff did not even know that it was in the biometric voter registration manual. We had to tell them that these are people who should be given preference. They should not stay in the queue like the other people. And that's how we flipped the pages and then showed them the particular section where that was stated. And that's how they created another line for them to get their cards in no time. And people who were in the queue, we had to make them to understand that these people have to be given preference. And we did that in Maserado and Bombing County. We didn't just stop there. In 2024,
mm,
produced a music, a misinfo and disinfo music. That music is intended to raise awareness on the danger of misinformation and disinformation. And in the music also, it also teaches people how to verify information. The music is done in simple Liberian English, what we call colloquia in Liberia. I'm sure that you have a copy of the music, and at certain point in this discussion, you can be able to play it so that people can be able to listen to it and understand the message in the music. What we also did was because the deaf and hard of hearing need such an information, we translated the music into sign language so that everything that was said or everything the artist sang or rap was translated into sign language so that these people can understand the need to verify information and how to verify information. Recently, we launched a massive recently we launched a massive misinfo and disinfo awareness campaign across Montserrat County. So early in May, we were in West Point. We visited two intellectual centers there. And then we later on moved to Douala and Yukutan, where we also visited two intellectual centers. The reason why we are visiting intellectual centers is because at those intellectual centers, people provide all kinds of information. Most often they don't verify what they say. And then those people who go there to get information just run with it and continue to share the information, even if it's not verified. If you ask them where you heard it from, yes, we were at the center and someone said it. And they didn't verify the information. That's why we are visiting these intellectual centers. Now we are going into the communities to
Okay.
community residents how to verify
Ye-
information.
Yes, that way I'm sure, the both of us know that Monrovia or Montserrat is not Liberia. So let's talk about the counties. How many counties, have you visited to
So
tell them the message?
exactly. So we have footprints in two counties. We have footprints in Monserrado and Bombing counties. So that's where we have worked.
This will cost a lot of money.
It will.
Yeah, people will see your initiative very good. They will see this campaign good indeed. But to hit 15 counties is not an easy thing. I don't know how prepared are you? How prepared your organization?
So Ansu, that's a very important point. At the moment, we don't have the financial resources to be able to reach to the 15 counties. That's why we are on this radio to appeal to our international partners to assist us get to those remote parts of Liberia. Because as we speak, we decided to target Monserrado for now because of financial challenges. But if we have the financial support, we can be able to reach out to many countries in Liberia with this initiative because we have the United Nations here. The
Hmm.
United Nations is all about peace. You understand, Ansu? Anything happens here now, it affects the activities and work of the United Nations. It also affects the progress that the United Nations has made for us to have peace in Liberia. So that's why it's important for us to take such an initiative very, very, very seriously.
Are you reaching out to them? Communication?
Exactly.
Are you reaching out to them? Are you
We
informing?
are. We are reaching out to them. We are reaching out to them through emails and through other means of communication. We are reaching out to them. And Ansu, I'm also happy to announce to you that early in April,
Hmm.
the United States Embassy recognized us as one of the champions in Liberia, improving community resilience to to force information. Yes,
That's so wonderful. So you said Monserrado counted
And Bomi County.
and
yes.
Bomi counted. And what's the next? Maybe a county maybe you have on Mound. In which you need some resources. So,
So,
uh,
as an institution,
yeah.
our focus for the next county will be dealing with the western region of Liberia for now,
Okay.
and then move to the next region. So the western region, you have Bapolu, you have Cape Mount. So those counties will be our next focus. But for now, we are we have launched in Monserrado
Mm-hmm.
this massive election, not election, but massive misinfo
Mm-hmm.
and disinfo awareness campaign. And we've also been visiting universities. We visited the United Methodist University and met with over 10 students, 10, 15 students of the mass communication department there.
And you had a successful program in your launch.
Of
Very
course,
successful.
of
Good.
course,
Good.
when we have these kinds of engagement, of
Mm-hmm.
course, we receive. I mean, the commendation is just overwhelming because honestly, some people just didn't even know what is misinformation, what is disinformation. It's through our engagement, people now understanding the meaning of misinformation and disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Some people didn't even realize that misinformation and disinformation have real life consequences. And sometimes we give them real life examples. What happened in Liberia? You recall Smart AI? How many Liberians were scammed? Many Liberians lost their money.
Mm-hmm.
People just believe in that business entity. Do you know what that clearly showed? That Smart AI,
Mm-hmm.
it showed the gap that we have in media and digital literacy education in Liberia. Many people did not even verify that that business entity is a legitimate business entity in Liberia. Where do they work? All the people who invested their money, nobody made any effort to go and see the office of that business entity in Liberia.
Mm.
You know who they trusted? Trusted their friends, trusted their relatives. You get me? So that's why it's important for us to verify information. You see, misinformation and disinformation can lead to people losing cash. And then that can also lead to another thing. It can lead to death because somebody might get frustrated and invest their entire savings. You understand? Smart AI came and said when you invest 10,000, you get 20,000. How many people would not be interested in such a business, you know, to invest their cash? But they did not ask critical questions. Where is this business entity? When
Yeah.
was it established? Where do they work? They did not. All the people who invested their cash, nobody made that effort to go and find out. They just listened to friends. And we are saying that if you get any information from anybody, it can be your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, make sure you verify the information. Don't be in haste to share information.
Yes, that way. Is the organization standing alone, or you maybe you are partnering with other organizations across the country?
Awesome. So during the elections, we came together
Mm-hmm.
under a network, three fact checking institutions along with individual fact checkers. We came together to fact check uh, during the elections. The essence was to hold politicians, their followers, journalists, citizens accountable to the facts. Because, during elections, that's the time there's an upsurge of election misinformation and disinformation. So we call ourselves Liberia Fact Checking Network. The network is still around, and we are working on improving our approach.
Okay, the voice of Tara Johnson. Tara Johnson, he is the CEO for the Campaigns Against Mixed Information and Disinformation. This morning here on the Truth Breakfast Show, sitting with us here to provide information on the campaign, the progress of how they go on since being launched in Montserrat County and then Bombay County. So he's here this morning here on the Truth Breakfast Show. You can call us now on 077-2859-61 are the numbers for you to call. 077-2859-61.
Or
Yeah,
zero
call us. They'll be
seven
live this
seven
morning.
0775 056556 0775 056556. Call to participate this morning on the Truth Breakfast Show.
077-2859-61. You call to ask some question indeed. Misinformation, disinformation. Indeed, many times, I like what he said. Sometimes people be misinformed. It cause serious problem. People just take information and just go run with it. Yeah, whether whether
Right,
it's true
yes.
and whether it is wrong information, they don't even check. So they just go on run with it this morning. So he's the CEO leading a team, yeah, against mixed information and disinformation. Good morning. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Okay, Nelson.
Josh and Ansu, thank you for the program, including your host, Power Johnson. The first one to applaud you for such initiative, but especially it's very unusual for people to engage in such activities, more especially than giving their participation in whatsoever information people might locate all this information because people in Liberia, people are not spending a lot of things. So they will take that trend of people might locate or not because it's very for people to code for information of character or whatsoever. And so, how bad I thought because progress with respect to your judgment or whatsoever, something and what you're supposed to follow or whatsoever.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks. Do you have a caller there? Zero
No.
triple seven 285961. The call this morning, and
Or
yeah, it talked to
yes.
us. We have so many calls coming in back to back.
Or
Zero, yeah.
0775 056556 0775 056556. And so you have a caller there?
Good morning. Okay, Marking right there. Yeah, before Tower leave, we should do that. How you guys can contact him. Definitely gonna do it. Before leave 077 285961. Numbers to call. Next caller, right? Good morning. Go ahead. Mhm. You're welcome. Yeah, can we go for two more? Then we get back to Tower. This morning 077 285961 are the numbers for you to call and be live on now the TBX 077 285961. We have us Tower Johnson, he's the CEO, the campaigner against misinformation and disinformation. He's here this morning on the Truth Breakfast Show. I think we just cross over to Tower. You listen to the callers, and I think the most important one, someone to know how can they reach out to you, and or maybe what's the play you have, like what you said, you when you say visit schools, and so how can they reach out to you, the connection point.
Yes, Ansu, let me say thanks for the callers. So, campaigners against misinformation and disinformation, we have been reaching out to intellectual centers,
Okay.
universities, communities.
Do you have a head office?
Yes, we do. We have our head office in Carisburg,
Okay.
Kai Town. That's where we are, and we are operating from there. Now, the point that the first caller raised concerning where do we get money from. So, thank you, caller. We are now using our bigger resources to carry out our initiatives. We don't have any support from an international partner to do what we are doing. Our approach is not to sit back and do nothing and just sit and do nothing, right? What we are doing now is to do something, and then external partners can see our effort and be able to augment our effort, you know, in other counties.
Okay. That's so
And
wonderful.
then
Yeah.
the other caller talk about uh, CEO. CEO has extended an invitation to us to visit their intellectual center. Thank you for the invitation. Let me just inform you that we are making plans because CEO is a very hot spot.
Hmm.
It's in Central Monrovia, and many people always go there, weekly to get information. So we'll obviously make a plan to visit you. And at the end of the program, I will give out our contact details, how you can get to us, and then we can keep in touch.
Are the doors still open? Maybe you say accepting people in the organizations. I don't know. Is that door still open?
Well, accepting people in terms of
Maybe the other people want to be part of the program. Yeah, the other people want to
yes,
join the campaign.
of course, there's a way. There's a way.
Okay.
If someone has an interest in joining the organization,
Hmm.
you can reach out to us. So at the end of the program, I will give you the contact details. I will give you our email address. I will give you our contact number, and I'll also tell you social media platforms that we are also on, where you can be able to get to us. WhatsApp number also, yeah, all of those information.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, George.
Yeah, so yeah, I listen to Tower, and of course, yeah, it's a great initiative, and I think yes, we've attended we as journalists,
But
well,
just
we have attended a workshop for missing disinformation.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm excited that Tower, there are days.
exactly,
Yeah,
and so because we are running out of time, so
yeah.
before we leave, let me just tell the Liberian people,
Mm,
inform them how to verify information.
mm,
So my people, let me count down small. Yeah. My people, when you get information, when you come across any information, you gotta make sure that information that are true, before you can give it out, before you can go and tell another person about it, right? Because the social media thing here, Facebook, Instagram, that it really promoting the spread of the false information here. So most often when people see anything online, the first thing soon they see it, they won't press the share button. And that's the wrong way to do it. The first thing you need to do is you stop. Why are you stopping? You stop to understand that information that you come across there. To really understand the information. If it calls for you to read, if you have to read that information twice, read the information twice, right? To understand the information. Then the next thing you do, you reflect. The reason you're reflecting is simple. To understand the information here, if I share it, how will it affect my community? How will it affect Liberia? How will it affect, me if I share the information? Now, where you gotta be critical and gotta reflect. Then you go to the last stage. Now, that last stage there we call it verify. Verify the B word, but it means to make sure whether the information here are true or they're false. So how you can verify? They got fact-checking organization in Liberia, working in Liberia, campaigners against misinformation and disinformation are one. They produce reports, fact-checking organization reports, so you can verify information you come across through those reports. Then or they also have expert reports. That another way too you can verify information, right? And then you yourself too can do your little background investigation to make sure whether the thing are true. So let me give you an example, right, Ansu? So when there's take for instance, George, a random person is running, Tupo, at the Carfield direction. And then
To verify.
will be capturing the live scenes, and then other people will start to share that is scene where we can know what a fire happened in certain place, right?
Mm.
Because but not journalists can be there. That community residents can capture the scene, and then it can alert the journalists that another way when you go online and such a thing that happen in public space, somebody may have a smartphone and capturing the live,
mhm.
scene,
Mm.
and then other people will start sharing that another way to verify. So don't just rush with the information like that. Don't just say, oh, because I see the man there running and saying, yeah, that's you. No, 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 no. That's a wrong approach. So that aid them and people. So before I leave now, let me now give you how you can reach out to us. So campaigners against misinformation and disinformation, we are in Town, Carisburg. That's where we have our offices. Now you can reach out to us. This is our WhatsApp and mobile number
Mhm.
0776 230 440. 0776 230 440. And we also have our website. We are on www.camdl.org. And you can reach to us on various social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, we also on LinkedIn and many others. So we are grateful again to you, Ansu and George, for allowing us to come this morning and speak to the Liberian people on the need to verify information and enlighten them on the danger of false information in Liberia. Thanks to the management of Truth FM for allowing us to have this opportunity. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks to Johnson. He's the CEO of the Capinos Against Misinformation and Disinformation. This morning, stopping by on the first settlement here on the Truth Breakfast Show, where folks let's go for a break.
Yes.
Let's say
Partners.
congratulations to the national team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back to back.
They don't start.
Back to back.
So non star now stands in a group now to H should be with 7 points. We won yesterday against South Tome. That match of playing Morocco. So I would say congratulations to the young team. Let's keep fighting. It's not easy to play for your national team.
Yes.
All right, folks. So let's go for a break and get words from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll be crossing over to Naomi Tapia to bring our spokes this morning right here on the Breakfast Show. So let's see. Let's go for a break. The show this morning. Right here. Visit our partners, Orange Liberia, and then Echo Bay. Yeah, this morning.
You are watching To Pay My Taxes and Fees Easily, brought to you by Orange and LRA.
Alfred, I'm traveling soon, so I need to get my birth certificate. I need to go pay my fees, but it will take too much time.
Alfonso, no worries. Thanks to Orange Money and LRA, there is a convenient way to pay for the fees. It is fast and easy. We can now pay the fees for birth certificate, marriage certificate, travel clearance.
Ecoben, a proud sponsor of the TBX this morning. So good. And we
You
are
are
here.
watching To Pay My Taxes and Fees Easily, brought to you by Orange NLRA.
Alfred, I'm traveling soon, so I need to get my birth certificate. I need to go pay my fees, but it would take too much time.
Alfonso, no worries. Thanks to Orange Money and LRA, there is a convenient way to pay for the fee.
That's a good result for us. And we have Tunisia and Namibia. Now, yeah, these two countries, Namibia and Tunisia in that zone, John, Josh, I think we see them as our contenders for now. Yeah.
We'll go for the we'll go for Tunisia.
First, it was Equatorial Guinea, but
And I think Satomi.
yeah.
Yes.
So we crossed them. We crossed Satomi yesterday, and we went on our next features back home. Our next feature back home. We have Namibia, we have Tunisia, we have Malawi to play back home here. So let's see what after the guys in all our tough games, let's just they draw.
Okay. And we
Yeah, yeah. You go away. The one I have for you, you force it something where you enjoy it.
okay.
When you come back home, we will go to the SKD, make some noise there for you people.
I think
Yeah.
I think this new coach has started, on a good footing. And yes, so
They're very confident,
yes,
and
yes.
he's very confident and brave because he still have a lot of trust and confidence in the local players, from our local league. Yeah. So yeah, so with such a high confidence in them, I think that they have to play up to their task, especially with the coach building such of confidence in you, and taking the national team to go for international games with the likes of some of maybe the international players or those foreign-based players, not much on the national
Yeah,
team.
few
Just few players.
Sangare and few
So
other
I
guys.
think that the local the guys back here, they need to put up. It's a challenge.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a challenge for them, and they are fighting. So let them keep on that fighting spirit, and we have Tunisia so far.
The qualifiers woke up
2026.
Yes, woke up
Yeah,
2026.
2026. That will be in the US, Canada. Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
yeah, we'll be hosting it in 2026. So we wish our guys, the best of luck.
And also the women, the under 17 women,
Under 17
World Cup
team.
qualifier, we lost to Nigeria 4-1.
Yeah,
Yes.
4 goals to 1.
Yes.
Yeah, we lost
to
our.
Nigeria.
The guys, we just have to keep pushing them. We have to keep pushing our national team. All right. We have to keep pushing them. Your sense that let's keep hands around them. It's just like sometimes the coaching staff have to understand themselves. They're pushing at some of the games. Nigerians are all hand into the
Yes.
business when it comes to women's soccer, especially going to major competition, the under 17, under 20. They're all hands in the business. So I think our coaching staff will understand meeting Nigeria them. Yeah, so now you just play your game on a balance there, Josh. We just get one person up there.
There we can.
Yeah, something like we just place one person there.
Hmm.
When you run around,
Definitely for them is good.
yeah, the opportunity can be scored. But for us to just open up, to play a brave game, because we acted very brave, to open up, to go into a match with them. So, but it's not bad. Nigeria women team, under 17 team, beat
It's
other
strong.
country.
It's strong.
Yeah,
Very,
seven.
very
They
strong.
beat other country 7 goals. They beat
Very,
other
very
country
strong.
6 goals. And 9, 10 goals. So if we can fight it up, we lost 4 goals to 1. Can we do a fight in Nigeria to beat 3-0? That's a big question, though.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So our folks are coming on Sunday. We'll be on Jeremiah Deacon. Deacon is the head for the communication.
Pink City Corporation.
The Painesville City Corporation this morning. So coming on Sunday, we'll be on Deacon. So
And so it was shocked to know that
Yeah.
we are hosting. I don't want to say if they are journalists.
yeah,
This morning, the entire edition, Tower,
yeah,
he comes from a journalistic background, and of course, the man Jeremiah politician also comes from the background of journalism. So this morning, I mean, wasn't no journalist also.
Mm-hmm. And the two of them, the tower end now.
They serve the Renaissance Committee.
Yes. So we're being on Jeremiah edition shortly on the show this morning. So he's going to stop here this morning and talk about some major work done within the Painesville and some challenges faced by the corporation right here. So we wait on our guest, but with the time check on the clock at this time, it's also part of the show. So let's see whether we can spice it up. The next on the settlement after this one will come back will be our final settlement guest, Jeremiah Deacon from now the PCC will be here with us. So that's it. Congratulations to the male national team, and let's keep our hands around our female team.
No got time for me. I keep going for the strategy. Nothing ever part of me. So tell me, oh, suddenly, the feels like a fire, suddenly. Too many enemies find me. I don't wanna leave, find me, tell me, find me. I can never come find.
And it's Monday morning, so it's also part of for the True Breakfast show this morning. As we went on our final, that's our last the guest on the final settlement this morning from the PCC to serve us this morning right here on this show. So good morning again, Liberia over the weekend. So many things, a lot of things happening over the weekend. Yeah, yeah, and I know our people will get busy this morning, especially with the return of the president back home now. So we have to get busy to work this morning.
Sure.
Yeah, to see how best we can catch up with everything for the past weeks, especially those that travel with the president. But we don't just want people on this president trip.
One trip, and
Yeah,
the country is not benefiting.
yeah. At the end of it, just come by, yeah. And the past government we had serious problem with aid. Yeah,
So like I said, from the inception of the breakfast show, most times you will hear the president here a lot of discussions. The president here talks
mhm,
with people on a particular trip,
yeah,
and the president comes back. The country citizens, their ears are open to listen to the benefit. The main thing: how does the country stand to benefit from the trip? So
yes.
how would the country benefit from such trip? So that's it. After what are the president, what are cabinet officials there pushing their own case, pushing their own interests. How will
Because the people taxpayer money.
how will
Yeah.
yes,
You people
they
went
get
on,
10,
yeah.
10,
You put
20,
travel
10,
so.
20 men delegations.
So
You know,
when you go on such trip, you come back. It good you inform your people and not just talking, but this time it's about implementing, and especially with uh, the way how we came into office, the way how we came into power, we came to rescue our people.
okay.
So
And not business as usual.
yeah, not business as usual. So we
Business
have
as
to
yes.
to keep our people informed with information.
Mm.
Anything that's happening, going on, where we go, we come back home, we make sure we inform our people.
Mm.
Yeah, it's because we appeared we came in with our hand not being the cookies jar,
Mm.
with a very clean hands. So we have to put ourselves in the position of provide information to our people.
Mm.
Don't want you see like if you travel with the president, come by and go by in your maybe your various offices and just relax. like what George said, when you go into some of our this trip, the president goes with a team, yeah, with the MCC team from the Ministry of Agriculture, a team from the Ministry of Information. So that's tell you that when you come back, all these various agencies or ministry or what, heads or representative that went with the president have to come back
Sure.
and inform us.
We understand these things, and so we understand these things. It will not like placing it in haste. It should happen immediately.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time for these things to happen. It takes time for these things to come to fruition. But it's always good to tell the country on how the citizenry will benefit from a particular trip, especially a trip surrounding the presidency.
And let that information go through. For me, I would definitely prefer, when it comes to information, the Ministry of Information should really step up.
Yeah.
All right. This is something that with this government, when it comes to communication,
the information minister was also on the trip. And let me see what I can get to the list of cabinet officials that accompanied the president to South Korea. So let me see. I have it here. We have several government officials. Sarah Beslow was on the trip. Let's see.
The communication is very important, and the referral communication should be sent out by the referral authority. We don't want this time around. When it comes to informing people, communicating, getting communication out from this government, I'm gonna say, George, is one of the major things this government have to fight on.
Sure.
Because the communication can just come from anywhere.
Information,
it can just come from anywhere, and sometimes it cause serious problem because and maybe the person is not in the know. You understand me, and you just blow out such information, or maybe they are still working towards it. They have that whole yellow machine when they came about.
Yes.
It took the entire time.
What are the pass you the referral channel? What are the pronouncement? The government should have used Mika. Whether the government should have used Mika.
Yes.
Yes. But
so that's how the information for this government when it comes to communication. We have to work on it. You have to work on it.
And from the inception of the citizen-led government,
yeah,
I think they also struggle with information dissemination. You have several government lines, ministry and agencies. From the inception, they hire their own communication director. They hire their own PRs, and like. Somebody will say something different. Another institution will say something different. But if the way people used to go, the way folks used to go at Mecca, listen to Mecca press briefing, listen, through other means, all of the media institutions across the country will be wanting to go to information because they know the information ministry is the official, spokesperson or spokesman of the government. And you find journalists, you find media institutions wanting to go to Mika, and Jawazin Koji having press conference, MCC TV, So from the inception of this government, they struggle with that.
Yeah.
They struggle with that.
Exactly.
And I think the Joseph Walker-led government is something that they are struggling with, and the government needs to put a foot to the ground to ensure that information gets across, not just
everyone want to justify
government
their work,
mentioned agencies.
Everyone want to justify the work. Like a friend of mine was kidding me. He said maybe because the minister was still with our portfolio, maybe that yellow woman, so they gave our they told the announcement about yellow machine. I laugh.
Yeah, so before Dijon has arrived. So before we cross over to Jeremiah, Dijon, I was talking on the official delegation that accompanied the president to Korea. Senator Daryl DeLove Monserrato was on a trip. Representative Ta Buway from District 9, Nima County, was on the trip. Honorable Sarah Besloyanti, the foreign minister, also was on the trip. Brigadier General retired Geraldine George also was on the trip. Minister of Defense, Alexander Nuta, Minister of Agriculture. Yes, the president mentioned agriculture yesterday, was on the trip. Ambassador Blamo Nelson, Liberian ambassador to Japan and Korea. Yeah, he had to be on that trip. Also, Jeremy Pia, we were all on that trip to South Korea.
All right. So you guys have to strengthen the communication armor. Yeah, we gotta do that. So they don't do it again. Yeah, the guys say a yellow Oma, so the white Oma and not have a yellow machine. Yeah. So please let me make sure that the referee authority try to provide information. Yeah, I give communication to our people. We have in studio. Our guest is in studio already. Um, Jeremiah teaching. He comes from now the PCC.
He's a
He's
spokesperson.
the communication. He's here and entire communication. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Reflection there at the PCC. So this morning, he's our last guest on the True Breakfast Show this morning. So to adjust himself, let's see whether we can do this again. When we come back, we'll definitely cross over to Jeremiah teaching there. We go straight into our talking, our discussion this morning. But let's go for this one. The last segment, and we have also the head of the communication there, the Painesville City Corporation, Mr. Jeremiah Ditchen. He's on the last segment with us this morning. So we can discuss some major work done within the Painesville and some challenges faced by the corporation. It's good to have Jeremiah on this morning, and let me welcome him. Jerry, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Ansu, and I'd like to say good morning to Josh.
Yeah, good morning.
Wonderful. Good to have you on. And let me say that congratulations to you. Yeah, the man still,
Yeah, so
the
like I
man still
said,
running office.
yeah, so like I said, the entire interview, the entire edition of the show this morning, we have journalists, social journalists, Jeremiah DJ and Tower Johnson. These are journalists.
Good to
And
have you on.
and I'm so much elated
Mhm.
this time to see Ansu and Josh conducting interview on the True Breakfast Show.
Wow.
I'm proud of you guys, and I must say kudos to the management team here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated Truth FM. Uh, this is not a strange environment for me, but it's enlightening that I'll be sitting and George and that of Ansu conducting interview on the True Breakfast Show for me. I'm excited about it. I must say kudos to you guys. Thanks for the improvement. We are proud of you.
That's it. It's what we call what? Men moving?
Man
Man
dropping.
Men
dropping.
dropping.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Men moving, men dropping. It's not an easy thing. Yeah. Yeah, thanks to our bosses, thanks to O'Neill, and thanks to Lai. Yeah, it is an opportunity to see that on this platform, especially one of for the country biggest morning platform indeed, the Truth Breakfast Show. How's out the PCC?
So, firstly, I bring you greetings on behalf of the mayor of our city, Desmond II, and the entire leadership at the Pingsville City Corporation, the employees of the city corporation. We are excited with the level of work that the current administration headed by Mayor Bestman is carrying on at the city corporation. A couple of reforms and a couple of strategies and plans to make the city government better. Uh, we'll be diving into it little by little. All of the plans we have, our outreach activities, and what is in store for the citizens of Pingsville. What of our intent to uh, make Pingsville a better city?
Mm.
As you know, the current mayor of our city is a seasoned urban planner. Mayor Bestman has come to this job with so much experience, uh, from serving as assistant minister for urban affairs, uh, uh, then at the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. So he has brought different uh, type of leadership style at the Pinson City Corporation, but which is gradually pushing the agenda of the corporation. So far, so good. The employees are excited with the level of work. The senior management team, the directors, they are all excited. We want to say, in this public manner, Mayor Bestman, thank you
Hmm.
for what you've been doing in the relative short period of time. We are testimonies of your workings, especially the directors. We so much appreciate the way you are handling the Pinson City Corporation. So now to the issue. Um, as you know, this is since this administration took over, the current administration, this is the third radio appearance, says here the Truth FM. The
Okay.
mayor appeared before O'Neill Robert, and I came with a team from the Pinson City Corporation, which I headed. And at the time, we're talking about the ultimatum we are giving the street vendors, uh, especially those who are selling at the ELW junction and
Mm.
within the vicinity of the ELW junction roundabout. So the ultimatum stands effective July 1. It has been over a month, almost 2 months now since we started this campaign. We are unbending about this campaign, very much serious. Effective July 1, there will be absolutely no selling at the ELW junction and within the vicinity of the ELW junction roundabout. So we have given demarcation from the LBS market to the roundabout, absolutely no selling and parking within that range. From the SKD Sports Complex to the roundabout, no selling and no parking. From the boundary between Pingsville and that of the township of Congatine, there will be absolutely no selling within that area. And from the Hope of Women Junction to the ELW Junction roundabout. So these are the area we have earmarked, and effective July 1, we are in the final stages of the preparation already. The issue of enforcement is very cardinal. That is why the Painesville City Police, headed by Lieutenant Melvin Torbo, we are currently trying to augment the strength of the Painesville City Corporation, as the police. That has been a problem for us in the past, and it has limited our enforcement strength. So we are augmenting the current manpower. We have a couple of people currently in trainings.
Hmm.
They will be ready before July 1 to join the current Pingsville City Corporation Police for this exercise. And we are also seeking partnership and support from the Liberia National Police. Uh, we just want to say to our people, the Pingsville City Corporation is very much serious about this. That is why we have given a very long time. The mayor has said the people who are selling at the ELW junction, the street vendors, they are residents of Pingsville, they are our people. So we must firstly provide ample time for them so that they can readjust themselves, go back to the various markets. Uh, we have been having talks with the market authority. We visited the LBS market recently.
Do we
And
have sufficient space there?
yeah,
To
that has been some of the complaints. In fact, the major talking point in this whole process,
okay.
the street vendors have alleged that there are no space or spaces within the
Mm-hmm.
market building. So we decided to counter check, and we personally, the mayor headed our team. In fact, the marketeers were so much excited.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, some of them were giving the testimony, and this is the very first time in a very long time that the mayor of the city of Pingsville will visit the market and sit in their office for more than 30 minutes to have uh, talks with them concerning the exercise. So we were taking on a guided tour of the market facility. So we saw a couple of tables that are empty, and I think the people can come in the market. There are spaces there. I counted more than 50 tables
Mm-hmm.
that are empty. So it was kind of surprising to us that the street vendors will say that the markets are filled. And mind you, the LBS market is not the only markets. There are several markets within Pingsville. So
Yeah.
you can visit any of these markets, acquire a space, and carry on your business. But selling at the EAW junction, the roundabout, we are so much interested about the beautification of the roundabout. Just this gone on Saturday, we had a collaboration with Orange Liberia,
Mm.
in which we celebrated World Environmental Day. Orange collaborated with the Pinzo City Corporation, was able to plant some trees and at the ELW junction, and we will continue within the city of Pingsville. The issue about people saying why only the ELW junction, Hansu, we are doing this step by step. We do not want to be distracted. We'll start at the EAW junction. We have given longer time, but there are other areas within our city that will continue our workings. For example, the Japanese freeway, especially the portion of Pingsville, from the Nizo junction to the double bridge, which is the boundary between the township of Gardnersville and that of Pingsville. We have noticed and received several complaints about people who just park their cars anyhow. They park their trucks on the main shoulder, in fact, on the main road, using it as a parking.
You talk about the
And
Japan winner.
it's freeway,
Yeah.
especially the side of Pingsville. We have also getting complaints about people operating garages, filthy garages. They are not contributing to the beauty of the road. If you see the road appear like the road has been in existence for more than 20 years. And quite recently, our
Mm-hmm.
donors, the government of Liberia and the Japanese government, they were gracious enough to provide the funding for the construction of that road. So we must take it serious, and we must maintain these facilities when we lobby with partners to give it to us. So our urban and zoning department, these are some of the reforms Mayor Bestman has brought at the Pinson City Corporation. We have a department exclusively now responsible for that. It is called the Urban and Zoning Department. They've been having talks with the various unions that are operating within that area. And we've been having also talks with the owners of these garages. So we have said to them, if you cannot maintain the garage,
Yeah.
or instead you must fence the garage, because we don't want people passing on the main road and getting this bad impression about the city, especially where the way they handle these garages.
Mm.
So either fence the garage or you be relocated
Mm.
to areas where people who passing on the main road will not be able to see the way you handle it. So these are things that are already that are ongoing. The meetings, we've been having series of meetings, but the area junction is the first priority, and we will effectively start on July 1. We are unbending about this. So if you have your relatives, your friends who are selling at the area junction, please inform them that the Pinzo City Corporation is very much serious about this. We have printed flyers. We did street awareness. We're doing social media awareness, and we're also doing awareness with our community development team. So we're giving sufficient time because we want the public and the media to serve as witnesses for the Pinzo City Corporation who started the process, because it will be the very media that will be running to all the people. There's nowhere for us to sell. The people, they taking off from our selling place. But
Mm-hmm.
we have said this over and over. Like I said, for almost 2 months, we've been on this. We're taking it our time. The one we start this process, the media and the public
Yeah.
will serve as witnesses for us. And not only the street vendors, we're also engaging those who own stores, the supermarkets. We started a verbal conversation with them, and the communication is already prepared, will be sent out to them this week, and they are mandated to keep their goods within their stores,
Some of them
because
have the makeshift and other stuff.
goods, they take their goods from the stores, they bring it
Yeah.
on the main road, they bring it in front of the stores thereby. And in front of the stores are meant for parking, especially where customers come to you. And in the event where the customer has a car, they have to park it in front of your store instead of parking it on the main road. So absolutely no store owner, be it supermarkets, be it banks, be it other stores, you would not take any of your activities to bring it outside of the store. It must be done within the confine of the store. So we are very serious about this, and will be on that day. We'll invite you. We meeting Truth FM. You'll be there and see. We'll be confiscating people who will take their goods from the stores and put it out and carry out the Pinzo City Corporation. There will be a lengthy fine put on you, very, very heavy, that you have to pay before we release it. But now we're negotiating, we're having dialogue with you, informing you about this. So it's not only the street vendors we'll be going for. Though we'll be going for the street vendors, but also we want you to keep your goods within the perimeter or within your stores.
That's so wonderful. Give us the entire phase of that ERW junction in which you think that the city government want to work on the entire phase of that junction in which you tell in and marketers to leave. Just give us the entire phase. How you want to give that phase of the ERW junction?
So the roundabout at the Eatery Junction
Yeah.
is almost 98.5% completed. So the road will soon be turned over to the government of Liberia.
Mhm.
It is incumbent upon us as a city government to maintain that particular aspect, that beautification of the Eatery Junction, because that is the gateway to our city. And not only the gateway to our city, it's also the gateway to the nation's capital, which is Monrovia.
Mhm.
So every Liberians to embrace the process of bringing change at the EAW junction, because it was tried to give at least a good face to our city. For a very long time, we don't have such a facility within Liberia, and this facility falls within the city of Painesville. So that is why we're taking charge, working in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Works to
Okay.
ensure that the beautification of the ELWA junction is kept intact. No one will be allowed to dent that beautification by just selling anyhow, setting on the shoulders of the road. And so, if we do not put in law and order at the ELWA junction, you will see people selling within the roundabout itself. So that is why we are giving a longer time. Like I said, more than 2 months we've been on this.
Mhm.
So effective July 1, we are very much serious about this process. But the workings of Pinzo City Corporation continues. We carry on the community engagement, our sanitation team working, our environmental health and safety team working, because we have been receiving complaints about people who are arbitrarily just setting ablaze garbage, setting ablaze vacant lanes, thereby causing environmental hazard to our people. So these are things that we are engaging our team, our environmental team. They are very much unbending about this, and they are finding people who are involved in this. But we also rely on our community dwellers to
Okay.
bring this information to the Pinzo City Corporation. The Pinzo City Corporation will not be everywhere at the same time. So, for instance, our technical team, they will be out in this week. They will be out this week.
Hmm.
Uh, the people who are just carry on mystery structures all
Yeah.
around the city. Our technical team will be carrying on the inspection. People who are constructing within the city limits without receiving permit from the Pinzo City Corporation. Mind you, uh, the legislature granted the city government of Pinsville the authority to come up with ordinances, and these ordinances are meant to be respected. Once you operate or live within the city limits of Pingsville. So if you are to carry on a construction,
Mm.
you must visit the technical department at the Pingsville City Corporation to acquire permit. Even if you get permit from the Ministry of Public Works. Similarly, if you are operating within the city limits of Pingsville,
Mm.
operating business,
Yeah.
you must pay your municipal taxes through our revenue department. It used to be the commercial department. These are some of the reforms that Mayor Bestman brought. Mayor
Okay.
Bestman said they are raising revenue for our corporation. So it can't just be limited to only commercial.
Mm.
So it has been changed now to the revenue department. So even if you pay fees to the Liberia Revenue Authority, which is the LRA, the
Mm.
LRA collects the national revenue for the country. So you must pay your municipal tax once you are operating within Pingsville. You get businesses within Pingsville, you have to pay. So that's how it works. We are running a city government. Though we have the city ordinance that serve as the law for us, we are now working as out of the constitution. But the ordinance of our city is our God. We use it to carry on the function of the city. We also use the ordinance to fund people to level taxes against businesses that are operating within Pingsville.
That's so
So
wonderful. That's so good, Jerry. What's the plan? What solution you guys are putting in place? This will look as an old age problem when it comes to
talk about the garbage.
garage at that yeah, my cabin, my kid, the red area. And what's the plan? The mayor is putting in place so we can find solution to this.
The truth is, garbage collection is a challenge,
Mm.
and it requires serious funding to effectively control the issue of garbage within the city of Pingsfield. Um, we have to be heavily supported,
Mm.
or will be capacitated in a way that will be able to raise the relevant revenue to cater to the issue of garbage. The first thing, you must have a modern transfer station,
Okay.
for which the Pinson City Corporation does not have. Uh, Mayor Bestman headed a team quite recently to Accra, Ghana. I was fortunate to be part of that team, along with the head of revenue and our sanitation director, because the mayor has said uh, people who are relevant to trips are the ones that will be on these trips that I will be making on behalf of the city.
Okay.
So while in Accra, we visited the Ashame uh, transfer station. And it amazed you to note that the people in Ghana, they have making significant strive in terms of how they manage the issue of waste.
Mm.
So it was an eye opener for the team, especially our head of sanitation. So we are engaging, lobbying currently to have a transfer station. The transfer station is meant for in an event where we have an issue at the landfill, or the landfill is kind of far away from where the garbage is being disposed, you temporarily carry it at the transfer station. It may be sorted at the transfer station before you take it at the landfill. So when we're going into negotiation this time around, we'll be going for an informed background, judging from our experience in Ghana and seeing how the transfer station in Ghana is being managed. We'll be speaking from an informed background. We'll not just sit and allow people just give us something so small, like the one we have currently in our sister city, which is very, very small. We will be engaging to get something befitting of our city. And we're also fortunate to visit the Accra Compost and Recycling Plant, a state-of-the-art recycling plant in Accra, a very large complex, very huge, and we were able to see the process in which waste is being transformed into compost and recyclable. So it was an eye-opener for us. So now imagine if we have a recycling plant within Pingsville. We are not plenty as compared to the population of our city. Though in Liberia, Pingsville has the largest population because we have over 700,000 inhabitants, and geographically,
Mm-hmm.
Pingsville is
It's
the
a
largest
larger
city.
city.
So when we get similar facility like this, for which the mayor is working, trying to see whether we can get partners for these things because they are very cost intensive. That is why uh, the finance team and that of the office of the mayor been lobbying with the legislature to see reason to increase the budget of the Pinson City Corporation to at least 3 million United States dollars. So that these are some of the plans we have. Uh, the Pinson City Corporation need more sanitation workers. We need more police officers. The current strength of our police is very less to cater to this densely populated city. We have a police force that is under 50. Under 50 cannot cater to this city. So even the exercise we're about to carry on at the ELWA junction, we have to add additional people to beef up the strength of the Pinson City Police. So when we get this funding, it will help us a lot. Some of the things the mayor is also pushing is about the city government being in a position to collect real estate taxes within
Okay.
our city, for which the national government is currently doing through the Liberia Revenue Authority. But it will be very good for the city government to be in charge of this. It helps a lot. Imagine the city government $25 real estate tax or $15 real estate tax is very significant to the city government. The city government will go after these things, they will appreciate it. But you know, the national government has a lot of taxes to collect through the revenue authority. Imagine the revenue authority is targeting millions of dollars of taxes. The smaller one will be sometimes I may not say they don't want to collect it, but because of the competing priorities for us, we'll be in a position to collect smaller taxes. It will be beneficial to us. We appreciate it. So these are some of the things Mayor Bestman's pushing,
What
and
is
he's not doing it with rush. They
okay?
are doing it, providing the case, telling the relevant authorities the importance of the city government doing these things. We are using persuasive method. It will not just happen overnight, because all of these things when happen, then the national government will not be in a position now to remit fund or provide subsidies to the Pinson City Corporation. We'll be raising our own resources. It will be enough to cater to the Pinson City Corporation. There are too many things that the Pinson City Corporation should be doing, but the issue of garbage have overshadowed our workings. In fact, the Pinson City Corporation should also be running clinics within the city of Pingsville. We should also be running schools. These are things that are in our ordinances. But because we do not have the resources, and especially when it comes to the political will on the part of the leadership to carry on these things, so these are things that we've been reviewing. And Mayor being a seasoned urban planner have decided that will engage these things, but it will not happen overnight. He has said, I one person, Jeremiah, I'm not coming at the Pinson City Corporation to denigrate the past leadership. I am building on their successes and improve on their failures, because tomorrow I will not be here.
Mhm.
Another group of people will come to run the affairs of the Pinson City Corporation.
Mhm.
So where I will stop, they will pick up from there, because government is continuity. That is why, since you have not any kind of rigmarole or
Yeah.
loss the city corporation since Mayor Bestman took over, because Mayor Bestman has been conducting the affairs of the Pinson City Corporation professionally, and there are several other departments that Mayor Bestman is trying to add up so that we can get a complete city government. For instance, we will be having our health department. Currently, we have added a gender section at the Pinson City Corporation,
Mm.
and the youth focal person has been appointed, a very selfless young man who understands the working of the youth groupings within Pinksville. Lawrence Deyuga was recently appointed by Mayor Bestman as the youth focal person, responsible to liaise with the youth groupings within Pinksville and that of the Pinksville City Corporation.
Mm.
And Mr. Lai Bilete, I'm sure you're aware, was also appointed as one of the ambassadors for our city.
Mm.
His main function is there to sell the city corporation both in Liberia and beyond Liberia. So these are some of the reforms Mayor Bestman has brought at the Pinson City Corporation.
And you were also appointed.
Yeah,
Still,
yeah.
yeah.
I was. I must say. I must say. Thank you to Mayor Bestman. So the department, it was this the public relations department, but it has been changed now to communications and media.
Okay.
So I'm the first director. I was recently appointed as the director for communications and media at the Pinson City Corporation. I'd like to say thanks to Mayor Bestman for the preferment, and the department has now expanded.
Okay.
So in previous time, it used to be me. Initially, when I went out Pinson City Corporation, we started like two persons. We had the director of public relations and I was serving as a public relations officer. But unfortunately, the director resigned within a very short period. So I've been exclusively doing the work. But the department has been expanded right now. We have several people in the department. We have the deputy director for the not the deputy, but the assistant director for video editing and photographing, and we have our photographer now exclusively this time around. I will not be the one doing the photos, and we have other people who have our community relation officer, and we also have other people within the department. So the department has been expanded, so that our workings now will go beyond. It will not just be limited to only one person. There are several other people within the departments.
Still the garage issue, Jerry. What's the cause? Sometimes the delay. You sometimes see the garages around the city. Parlor. Sometimes it takes months before the response comes from the PCC. What a
So
delay sometimes.
so when you see these things happening, uh, the entire country has only a landfill, which is Wintown,
Okay.
and it has been operated by both Monrovia and Pinksville.
Mhm.
And the lifespan of the landfill has expired already, because it was an emergency project. So for every time there are problems at the landfill, uh, during the inception of this government, both Monrovia and Pinksville had challenge. There was a massive outbreak of fire at the landfill. So being the only landfill within the city, within Liberia, uh, there were nowhere to dispose of waste. So you saw an overflow of waste within the city limits of Painesville. And what makes it more difficult for us in Painesville is the issue of not having a transfer station.
Okay.
An area where you can temporarily store waste in an
Mhm.
event where there's an emergency, like what happened at the landfill. So you have waste all around the city. But following the cessation of the fire, we were able to resume our work. So we've been making significant strides. Uh, we're able to maintain and control most of the hotspots like the Dubois Junction, the ELV Junction, the former reservoir area there, and also red light. There was a huge stop out of waste in front of the Middle Arahat store. It also had fire in it. We're able to clear that waste 100%. And last before we were in Central Red Light, the entire team headed by our city manager, Mr. Maswe Benda, and our chief of staff, Imari Kemon, was also part of it. The entire team, we were cleaning the drainages along the from within the red light, central red light, going as far as the police station. So, but the issue here is about sustainability and the enforcement, which has been a challenge for us. We've been having a couple of meetings with the leadership of the petty traders and those exclusively operating within red light, because we've been told by the Liberia Marketing Association that they are not controlling red light currently. So the street the petty traders and those who are doing business within Central Red Light,
Mm-hmm.
they are come up with of organizations to be able to control the issue of waste. So we had a meeting with them. And one of the challenges we've been facing is the issue of people paying for the waste. Once you live in an urban area, you need to pay for your waste. That has been a major challenge confronting us. A lot of people don't want to pay for the garbage collection fees. They believe that they can just take their waste and give it to anybody, especially our less fortunate brothers, the Sogos, which they
Because
take one location to another.
I was just about to get to that,
Yeah,
DJ.
so it's a
Yes.
serious challenge for us.
Okay.
So we strategize and coming up with different measures to put in place so that we can curtail these things. We had a meeting and we told the petty traders exactly what they need to do, and so that we can be able to be in red light frequently to collect their waste. Because for every time we carry our trucks in red light, we must fill those trucks. Cost intensive. Each of those trucks, the minimum fuel that they consume is 40 gallons, and the front end loader, the minimum is 50 gallons. So imagine if we carry about 6 trucks or 7 trucks in red light to work. So we have to fuel them just to work for a ship. So these things are cost intensive. And for the various communities, we engage in them through our communication team and that of our community development team. Our director of sanitation was recently in La Côte d'Ivoire attending a seminar on waste, and he came back and was able to brief us about some of the experiences, some of the lessons he got from La Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
So the issue of garbage fee is embedded, according to the information, within the electricity bill in La Côte d'Ivoire. You know, people paying for waste is something that nobody want to do,
Okay.
especially paying taxes. So because a lot of people love electricity,
Mm-hmm.
so the government in La Côte d'Ivoire, working along with the city, the various city governments, they embedded the issue of garbage collection fee within the electricity. So once you buy electricity, you have already paid a
Okay.
certain portion towards your garbage collection fee.
Mhm.
So these amounts are remitted to the local city government around to
Mm-hmm.
carry on the function of cleaning the waste. So these are some of the things. That is why uh, people who are knowledgeable to these things, people who are important to these kind of trips, are the ones that are making these trips under
Mm-hmm.
the leadership of Mayor Besman. So in the near future, we may be engaging the legislature or even engaging the authority at the Liberia Electricity Corporation to see whether these things can work for us. Because you have to pay for your waste, and so once you live in your space, you make waste and you must pay for it.
All right. So before we get to the line, let me take it back to the ELWA Johnson. Just 2 minutes. I want you to respond to this for me. We have the drag goose guys. The one we refer to
As a Yana
the
boy.
yellow box. That no, everyone
There are
cannot go to
also
the
vendors.
yeah, cannot go into the market building. I don't know
These
what.
are all street vendors, Ansu.
So
Uh,
are we sending every one of them to the
Everyone,
market?
absolutely, Ansu, there will be no selling at the ELW junction and its environment, especially around the roundabout. Even those that will be changing money, they will not be permitted to change money, because that's how when one person starts changing money, somebody will bring the plenitude without near the money exchanger, and the area will get crowded. So we are unbending about this. We have given sufficient time, and so absolutely there will be no selling and parking within the vicinity of the EADW Junction roundabout, except for those who, if you come with your cars where you're coming from in town, you drop the passenger. There are areas we have already earmarked where you just drop passenger. You're not taking long there. You drop the passenger. If the passenger there to carry to town, they just get in the car, you carry them to town. But there will be no selling, even to sell chicle or candy, scratch card. You're not selling.
When is the deadline again, DJ?
Effective July 1, the exercise kick off.
Jeremiah Deacon, he's the head of communication at the Painesville City Corporation. He gave us this morning on the Truth Breakfast Show. So he calls on 0777 285961 and have your say this morning right here on Truth FM 0777 285961. 0777 285961.
Yeah, or 0775 056556 0775 056556. Answer for your end.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. The line's jammed, so we're gonna just hold you on 0777 285961. The next caller, right? Good morning. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Answer for your end.
Yeah, you still have a caller?
No, not yet.
Okay, so the calls keep coming in back to back. Let's pick up this one. Go ahead. Okay,
Michael Render.
go ahead.
I give this to Michael Render.
Okay,
Jeremiah
Michael.
Deacon. That's
Yeah. Let's pick up two more. 777 285961. Go ahead, you're live. Yes, sir.
This is the problem of the recording for the
Okay, go ahead.
the thing is on the show. But I have a question for the serious. What the issue of the money chief? It's got about removing money and teacher around the junction. But will not be an opportunity for foreign national who stole the right junction to take responsibility or teaching about the giving an opportunity to teach the United States currency in Liberia. And another aspect has to do with including responsibility of NC to the function of the previous corporation while generating revenue. And now include the incentive of into corporation by taking responsibility on the shipping of that ship. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. So we have to get a decent time to respond. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to say thanks to the callers. Their concerns I noted. I'm not the only person following this broadcast. My bosses are also following.
Hmm.
Okay,
On the issue of the money exchangers, we are not saying those that own forest bureau, well structured will be removed from the ELW junction. We are talking about those who just sitting on a one umbrella, will lay chairs, sit or tables, or sitting on. These are the people we're talking about. So if you get a well-structured facility where you renting a store or you renting a shop, well-structured, we are not talking about you. We're talking about people who just selling or doing money exchanging. And it's not only about money exchange. This issue is across the board. That's why we say absolutely no selling, no parking at the ELW junction. We are very much unbending about this. And before I go on, so I'd like to say our team, our urban planning team is also concerned about people who are just constructing anyhow in collaboration with our technical team. We have observed that people are also just carrying on construction at the boundary between Pingsville and that of Congotown around the SKD Cooper community area.
okay,
So they thereby causing erosion. So these are things that we're all looking at, and we want them to come up with the blueprint and present it to the Princeton City Corporation through our urban and zoning department. Uh, and we will go after area activity. But the thing is, our citizens, the residents of Pingsville, if you see anything, please report it to the Pingsville City Corporation. PCC will not be everywhere at the same time. If someone constructing in the alley, please report it to Pingsville City Corporation. If somebody constructing without proper bathroom facility, report it to the Pingsville City Corporation. Somebody get a yard that has overgrown grass, you need to report these things. Overgrown trees, all those things. Then, like I said, do have our team around, but you need to report some of these things to us. That's the only way we'll know actually what is happening in your community, because we cannot be everywhere at the same time. I'd like to say thanks for the opportunity. We appreciate it. And before I go,
okay.
lastly, we are unbending about the ELW junction. Please take it very serious. Inform your people. Let them find a place to go. The markets are available. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeremiah Deacon. Deacon comes from the PCC. He's the head of communication there this morning, taking us home on the Truth Breakfast Show. This morning, the other one we had Tower Johnson. He stopped by to talk on now the campaigners against
Miss and disinformation.
misinformation and disinformation. So he stopped by this morning to provide information and to the public. And then Jeremiah Dishon closing up right here on now the program. Georgia, we have to go. Yeah. Thanks to my boss, yeah, O'Neill and Mr. Benedict who celebrate his birthday today. Laiki Benedict will say happy birthday to you, Ambassador Laiki Benedict will say thank you so much
My
and
birthday,
best of for the guys. George, your
my
birthday
birthday
comes
comes out
tomorrow though.
tomorrow, so I'm so disappointed.
You
You
you have the communication here, yeah,
cancel.
Jeremiah.
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. So a pre-birthday shout out to George Boris celebrate his birthday today. Corey's Kanga birthday
Tomorrow, like you have
tomorrow.
today.
Corey's is today. To see for Betty's also falls on Wednesday. So thanks to all of you guys. But before I leave you, let me leave you with this one here. When you face difficult times, know that challenges are not sent to destroy you. They are sent to promote, increase, and strengthen you. So in. Thanks so much to Mr. Bobby Addison there at NPP. Folks, we have to go. Join now the team tomorrow morning. I wish some O'Neill in summer round. I will be here. My name is Ansu Kisari. Thanks to George Boyd. And have yourself a wonderful Monday.